I am merely Bo. He is the great Z, and to my right, the great Joe Flacco. Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, good to see you guys.
How's practice this morning? Everything? How's it going? We're in the dog days of it, and good Lord, has the heat been there?
Yeah, the heat has been there. It's funny. I mean, it's not like we're out there that long, so it's tough to. You have to label something as the dog days, so you kind of label this week full pads. It has been hot. It's funny, you don't have to do much before you're kind of dripping in sweat and the towels are all soaked. So it's good to kind of see some of the guys get pushed through this a little bit.
All right, you did an interview with CBS, kind of at home, a feature.
Yeah.
What do you have to? You've won a Super Bowl, even a Super Bowl MVP. You're playing for 18 years when the average career in this league is under 3 years, and your kids are not impressed at all with your resume. What do you have to do? I'm sitting here being like, I got no chance.
Yeah. I think they told you. I think they said I have to win another Super Bowl. Man, you know how kids can be, man. It's a freaking trip with those guys. They didn't get to see the majority of my football career.
Sure.
So I think it's just their way of showing how excited they are to kind of, I feel like, be a part of it a little bit. Honestly, I tell people, like, they definitely have more fun poking fun at me, but, like, when good things happen, they don't necessarily say it, but you can just see it on their faces, So they're never going to give you anything, and I'm not just me. Other people asking, they're going to take every chance they get to kind of give it to me a little bit. But you can tell, like, just by looking at their face, like when they're somewhat proud of, just kind of like I'm sure they can tell when. We're proud of them, and they can see it on our faces.
As they should be. Just have them watch Training Camp Insider, presented by Gregory Industries. You can find on the Browns YouTube channel. Bernie Kosar, who is a legend in his own right, effusive in his praise for you every day. He's like, I'm not on his PR staff. Trust me. So just tell them to watch that, and they can hear from somebody else.
Yeah, Bernie's been unbelievable, man. I talked to him out there a little bit today, and I was like, dude, it means so much. Like, thank you so much. He's been great.
Your bootleg rollout, he's like, he just flicks it with his wrist. It's so effortless. I could never do that. He's like, what's going on?
I remember the last time you were here in studio with us, one of the things, and it was coming off that incredible run of games, get us into the postseason, that incredible finish to that season. You were in here and we were talking about your kids, and you said what's kind of cool is they're getting to see it.
Yeah.
And so they get to be a part of it. And so now to return back here where you had that magical time here, what has that been like for the family to have you back here?
I think it's a lot. I think they're excited about it. I mean, like I said, they're never going to tell you, but like my older boys are like, you should play till you're 50, So like when they say those kind of things, like they're obviously excited about the chance to like be a part of it, and it makes you feel good. I mean, I think there's got to be some selfish thoughts on my part in there to kind of like have them like it's kind of like, man, it's cool for me that they're a part of it, and. Yeah, so like this is all about kind of getting to that point where we can, hopefully enjoy it.
You mentioned Bernie too, and I was thinking about it. Like, the name of the division was different, but you really can't write the history of this division without like guys like you and Bernie and these guys who played a long time in this division and won a lot in this division. There's a badge of honor of playing a career in this division.
Yeah, I really, I do think there is. I mean, I think every division probably can say that, but man. I remember coming into this league and like you have to be able to play in weather and you have to be able to play against good tough defenses. You have to kind of be willing to play a little bit more old school style football. I remember people kind of when I got drafted in Baltimore, people talking about like having to get a guy that can play in this division. So people are prideful about playing against these teams. And since I've been in the league, there's every single team's been a challenge. Now. Obviously there's been some years where Cleveland and a couple of teams haven't had the best records, but they're always a challenge to play. And, I mean, you can look back and there's a handful of years where 3 teams from this division have made the playoffs, and that was before even 7 teams were in the playoffs from each team. Like, even when we were only doing 6, like there was years where Baltimore, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Pittsburgh were all in the playoffs. I mean, I think who was in it in 23? I mean, Baltimore, us, and Pittsburgh. It's another year. And so it's always going to be tough, So you always look at these teams and like we have one of the toughest schedules this year, and it's like you play in the AFC North, and when you're kind of at the bottom of the division in terms of last year's records. Well, you're playing all those teams that you're playing are technically better than you, so
Yeah.
you're going to have a slightly harder schedule than those teams that are. It's just every year you're going to be in the top of the hardest schedules in the league just because you have to play these teams twice.
So Kevin Stefanski says that he doesn't pay any attention to it. He doesn't look at it. I don't know if I completely believe him. We opened the season this year with Cincinnati and Baltimore. I mean, last year the Browns didn't play a division game until I think it was week 8.
Right.
That has to you've been in this division. You talked about it. Like those games, you don't get a chance really to kind of ramp up and, we're going to get the things figured out in the first month. When you got back-to-back division games, is that as a player, knowing what you've been through and the wars you've been through in this division, like, okay, we've got to be crisp?
Yeah, listen, you definitely want to come out crisp. I think you always want to get off to a good start to get that confidence going for your team. But it is in Kevin's defense, it is a long season.
Yeah.
Like you can't let early things affect your mindset. You have to stay the course because it's a long. Like Baltimore started 0-2 last year. Cincinnati started 0-2 a couple of years. I think Baltimore started 0-2 last year. And then like when I was looking at it, like they were the best team in the league.
Yep.
Now Philly did beat them in the regular season, so and they won the Super Bowl, obviously. So you got to give them a lot of credit. But like all year, I was saying, listen, it's Baltimore and Philly, and like I said, they started out 0-2. So it is imperative that we kind of get our team going and really get it heading in the right direction early on, and for those division games because you know how important they are. But at the same time, like I said, in Kevin's defense, you got to just look at it one at a time and take it for what it is.
You've seen this league evolve significantly take it on Sundays, Mondays, Thursday nights, all of that evolve in terms of how the game is played, the style of it. But you've seen it in your 18 years, I'm sure, evolve training camp massively, right?
Yeah.
Today was the first day in Kevin Stefanski's tenure here that there was live tackling in a training camp.
Yeah.
And it was on day 2 of pads. I mean, we're talking about you weren't at the Greenbrier either the year you were with us, but day 1 in pads was like just individual and
right.
Position group, and then maybe some on air, but and never got to live. What are you sensing around that this is just, talks about hardening the body, hardening the mind, that this is a different kind of a camp here and that this is a team that maybe it has nothing to do with the way the schedule opens, but that we're going to be ready to be physical immediately?
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I remember going back to like my first year and like we did like a live short yardage goal line period, and it was insane. Like yeah, it was crazy because everybody knows where the ball's going, and it's like a hitting drill with 250-pound grown men. Like when you're doing tackling drills in high school, and but when you have two 11-on-11 giant guys running into each other at full speed, like man, there's going to be some collisions. So I thought it was pretty cool today. I mean, I think he honestly wants to find out about some of the guys on this team and what they can, because like when you're just thudding off and stuff, like it isn't quite real, like blow the whistle, he's down right there. So you don't really get to find out until the preseason games and stuff about how guys can break tackles and how much they shy away from things maybe. So when you get to do a period like that, and I think our team responded well. Like I think everybody's excited about it, and I do think you got to see some of guys, I think you get to see a little bit more about what makes guys good football players, and that's breaking tackles and seeking out some contact and not being shy to be a part of it. I think those things are all really important in order to be a good football player. So you get to find a little bit of that out about certain guys where you wouldn't if you didn't do it.
Certainly the quarterback position is one that everyone's talking about. You have the injury to Kenny earlier this week, and hopefully he gets back soon. But we talked to Kevin several times, and one of the things he talked about was the plan that he was going to have for you guys. And there's never enough reps. Just never enough reps. And you've talked about that publicly as well. But how is that part going from your perspective? You've been through a lot of these, of these early camps. How's that part going in terms of trying to get everybody reps?
Yeah, listen, I think they were trying to get everybody reps, and it is a hard thing because especially in today's camp, you're only out there for so long. Like if we were running 120 reps and we were splitting the field up, and everybody would get a good amount of reps. Like even if you're getting a lot of reps right now, it's still not as many as you were getting 10 years ago. Like if you were the second or third string guy. So there's always going to be a limited number. And it's funny, like, you want Kenny to get back out there. You can definitely see the difference when there's 3 guys versus 4 guys.
100%.
It becomes it's even less of a headache for the coaches to come up with how they're going to split them. So Listen, we all love getting reps. You get into a little bit of a groove. You kind of start to feel comfortable with everybody. You get to show a little bit about what you do without having to worry about the little tiny things that don't really matter. So, but at the same time, like, it's our job right now to kind of just adapt and be able to adjust to whatever, they're asking of us. And I think that's the most important thing, is you can't dwell on those things. You just got to do whatever they're asking you to do, that you got to do the best. And maybe sometimes you'll feel like you're not doing enough, or maybe they're not seeing you, but you just have to have faith that you are, and just kind of stay the course and let it play itself out.
Is it hard? Because imagine it would be human nature. Be like, okay, I've got, today I'm going to have 9, we'll call it, or 12.
Yeah.
I want to throw the ball down the field and show them the things I can do, but maybe that's not what's dictated on this play based on the coverage, all that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm talking about. I think there is some difficulty with that for sure, but I can tell you the best thing to do is just play each play as it is. You're going to get opportunities to throw the ball down the field. And if you don't, you don't. Like, that's not what practice is about. It's about showing – listen, especially for me, like, there's certain things that I think we know that I can do and stuff like that. Like, I don't need to throw the ball down the field every play. Like, okay, it's about
you can do it documented.
So like if a couple guys get to throw the ball downfield a couple times in practice and I don't, I can't feel bad about that. Like, I got to feel good that I did what I did, or I got to feel bad that I did what I was supposed to do, or I got to feel bad that I didn't do what I was supposed to do. So I want to walk off that practice field feeling good about the decisions that I made. Right. And if that means that I had to check the ball down on every single rep, well, I honestly would feel good about it, because that's what I felt like that's what I was supposed to do. So.
I just like when they keep starting off for you with like some kind of a dagger, and you can read the post or the dig, just where you go in middle of the field, boom, and then it just looks so pretty. It's so easy.
There's certain things about those plays where I do kind of think about it. I'm like, okay, you get a chance to throw the ball down the field now, but remember, you do have a running back. If they just drop back, just hit the running back. If you get a little pressure, hit the running back. So.
And there has been some pressure. This D-line has been pretty impressive.
They're good.
Yeah, you guys got Carolina next week on the joint practices, and then preseason play, and away we go. You've been through a lot of these. Are you hitting the benchmarks that you need, despite not being enough reps, just physically the benchmarks you need to know your body for just if it is you, that you'll be ready to go?
Yeah, I'll be ready to go. I mean, listen, like
you came off the couch in L.A., was ready to go.
That's 2 years ago.
I know.
You like getting the reps for sure. And it's more than just getting your body ready. Like, there's other things to that, but you definitely like getting the reps. But at this point, you just go out and do it. And that's what the off season's for, is to get your body ready to go through a 17+ game season.
All right, get your meeting.
Yep.
Good talking to you.
Sounds good.
The best.
There he is, Joe Flacco, in studio with us to kick off Cleveland Browns Daily.